Hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you're watching us. My name is Geoffrey Ndongo, and today in our studio I have a very special guest, and he will introduce himself to you. Welcome to our studio.
Thank you so much, Geoffrey. My name is Coach John Price. That's my real name. I do relationship and coaching, so that's my career.
Great.
Thank you so much for the invite.
Yeah.
I'm privileged to be here.
So without much ado, we will go straight to the point. Moving on after breakup. Hayat, tell us more about moving on after breakup, Mr. Coach.
Thank you. First of all, moving on, it means that someone was hurt sometimes back, and someone has healed. So you are basically ready to get to another step. And so what is this next step? This next step, it could be getting into another relationship, or basically you're just well and you have recovered, and now you're just okay. So that's the meaning of moving on.
Okay, when is someone ready to move on after you break up?
Thank you so much. Now I will give about 3 tips or 3 aspects or determinants of someone who should move on, who is out to know that you are ready to move on. One is, whenever you are through a healing process and you feel that your interests has changed, so you have a change of interest, that means you are ready to move on to the next step. So maybe let's say you are at a particular time, maybe during the breakup period, you had some preferences. So whenever you are going through that healing period, it comes to a point where you have realized your potential. So things are going to change, and your interests also are going to change. So whenever you find yourself capable of holding new or sometimes advanced interests, so that one means that you are ready to try another thing. 2, whenever you don't feel hurt by the past, let's say someone had cheated on you, or it was some serious hurt. So whenever you don't feel the pain, when you think about that and you don't feel that pain, and you feel that things have changed, you no longer feel some kind of harshness, So that means you are ready to pick another direction. That is very important. So you are supposed to preview your mind and feel. In fact, you can even think about it. And whenever you feel you are free, you don't feel hurt, then that is okay, a point to move on. Last one, you can sometimes feel free to move on when you feel at peace with yourself. There are some situations when you are healing, then in the process of healing, you still don't feel that enthusiasm. You don't feel that confidence. And most of the time, after you have healed, when you preview yourself and you find that you feel at peace, with yourself, you are no longer, disturbed by so many things. There are so many things in the mind. So that peace is an evidence of a mark to go to another step. So those are very important points.
And of course, I would like, what if your new partner is want to rekindle the love again?
Okay.
From previous
your ex.
Yeah, your ex.
Good question, Mr. Geoffrey, Mr. Ndungu.
Yeah.
Most of the time, I've even handled clients who, especially ladies, who normally want to take it back with their exes. Basically because the ex was texting or they were chatting, so they are into a situation where they don't know where to go, the direction to go. Now, that is a very important and very crucial aspect. Now, there are 2 things that I want to touch on that, about moving on with your ex. Now, what are the circumstances where you're supposed to, or you are allowed, or you are advised to try it again with your ex? One, when the relationship was a long distance, and you had to break up because it was some long distance, then sometimes it happens that the distance becomes narrow and you're close to each other. that is a room for giving another chance. You hear me right? Another circumstance where you can try it with your ex is when the breakup was about immaturity. Let's say that maybe there was some sort of nagging. There are some partners who are nagging. So if the relationship broke up because of some immaturity reasons, or maybe there wasn't that age of good decision making, then it had just to break up anyhow. So that one, you can get a room to try it again with that ex. But never think about moving on with your ex if the two reasons are not inclusive. Ex that have cheated, they were your ex because they cheated. And ex who was your ex because things were not working out, please don't ever think about moving your ex. Ex means the past. So even if you have feelings for them, even if they are the kind of, maybe they have made a step of financial breakthroughs. So many people are actually lured back to the ex because of maybe financial success, something like that. It has happened, by the way.
Yeah.
And that should not coerce you to just feel emotionally reattached to someone. So it is very important that whenever you are ex, let your ex be your ex. Let it be a boundary. You are willing to move on from them.
Yeah.
So unless they are the two reasons that you touched on, yes.
What if your new partner does not meet your expectations? What are you supposed to handle that?
So you moved on and your partner, your new partner doesn't meet your expectations.
Yeah.
Good. Allow me to touch on something. There is a writer, the father of cognitive therapy, who wrote, and I quote, that people respond to the events, or rather the interpretations of events, rather than responding to the events by themselves. That's why different events elicit radically different reactions, and you will see that from different people, that events elicit different reactions. So that means, if you allow me to expound on that, this writer is called Tel Ben Shah.
Yeah.
He says that whenever a breakup has happened, what are you translating of that? Because look, what are you supposed to take of that breakup? Because it is a breakup. So many people have translated breakups to be, after I've met ladies who say that because of this and this, because this man lied to me, so all men are liars. Because this man cheated, so all men are not faithful. So that is the translation of what happened. You understand my point? So that means that this lady is simply saying that all men are bad. That all men will cheat on you. That she can never move on because all men are bad. You understand my point? So Ben Shah is simply saying that whenever such thing happens, take it positively. Take it as a lesson, so that it works with you. It works for you. So whenever that breakup, we're going to that healing stage, let you go with the mentality to heal, so that your expectations are not going to be interfered by what happened. So many people have ended up not even healing.
Yeah.
And because healing is a gradual process, so it doesn't work for them because of the mentality that they have about whatever happened. So when you asked me that, when now you are in a new relationship and your expectations are still not met, one thing I would want to tell you is that no one is perfect. So whenever your expectations are above limit, there are some things you can work on. Some characters you can work on. Unless, if it is something that is, or in this context, let me use a woman. As a woman, there are some things, if his mother didn't do, then you can never do them. You can never change it. Okay. You understand that?
Yeah.
You get that? There are some things that you can never change in a man. So your expectations should be averagely, should be formidable, should be something that is workable. I have had a problem with ladies who put their expectations so high. One, financial expectations.
Yeah.
Or economic expectations. I mean, she wants a billionaire breakfast. I ask so many of them, like, do you want a millionaire? What do you have? So it is something that should be reasonable. So your expectations should be something related to character. And a character, I mean, if it's something that you cannot develop, then you have to live with it. If it is not narcissistic characters that are connected with manipulation and control, then please, lower your expectations. So if your expectations wasn't met and there are some things that are workable, please work with them. You will never get someone who's 100%.
Yeah.
It is something that you work on them gradually. I mean, relationships are a gradual process. Moving on is, it will not happen in a day. So make sure you are into a position to learn. You are into a position to mold. And it is something that you should be working, the common effort. Your effort is my effort. So we should work on them, both of us. Yes.
And should parents influence the choice of dating?
Or the choice of your partner?
Yeah.
That's a good question, Mr. Ndungu. I've made various concerns that you find parents who influence the choice of their children's partners. Well, one fact that I will want to tell you is that a parent should play a role in giving pieces of advice to their children on what they think is right. Basing facts on, say, practical examples, basing facts on books, basing facts on spiritual perspective, other than just looking at a particular perspective or a particular area. Then you use it to maybe have a formidable, something that is formed in your mind, then you put it on your child. Well, let me pin this out, or let me pin this down, like, what are the areas that are good for parents to touch on? One, touch on spiritual dimension. Advise your children on spiritual perspective, like, give them why you feel it's good to date such a such a person who is connected to this religion or to this spiritual direction. If you feel your child is good to be to have a born again or a Christian, why do you feel that is right? So you see, online on spiritual perspective, it is so specific because you shouldn't advise your child that if he is a Christian or if she is a Christian, then you want to base him on areas that are related outside Christianity. I mean, please bring it closer to what you feel is right for your child. Now that's from a spiritual perspective. Make sure you put it on a perspective that is understandable. Two, on also the kind of characters or social perspective. It is good, of course, to touch on social understanding, which is right. But don't make them feel, don't bring negative aspects of social life. That is also important. Another thing that is also important when you're advising your child, give them the academic advice. One thing I would want to be honest with you, one thing that my dad normally tells me is that, Price, I will advise you that even if you think about settling down with such a person who has met a particular academic background. That means he has got an experience about academic background. So to say that it is his wish. So it is trying to narrow me down to the advantages of dating or settle down with someone who is educated. So I want you to understand this, that whenever a parent is advising his or her child, please give him what to feel about that, and give them a room to pick to pick the choice, to have the choice, to make the decision. So give them the outline, but don't decide for them. So a parent is important, of course, because they are experienced. I mean, they have that know-how. But it is wrong when you are deciding for them. Because I tell so many people that it is you who is going to date that person. It is you who knows your potential. It is you who is going to click in their chemistry. It's not your parent. And so sometimes your parent can just take you to the wall, and you feel you can settle down. Because, you can settle for their reason. For what they feel to make them happy. You will feel that you want to go down with what they want, and that time you are going to mess it up. You're going to mess up. So when you you begin to a point where you cannot change what you feel, what your parent has told you, because the influence is so big, then you rather drop the ball, because sometimes when you know the right decision, when you know the right thing, then you should get the mark. It is good. Sometimes you can make a stand and tell them that you are right, I know. But this one, allow me to try it by myself, because I feel this is right. That is why I say at some point maturity should take course.
So making your own decision.
You are going to make your own stand when you feel you are right.
Okay.
Geoffrey, I don't try to say that you should just outlaw or outshine your parent. But at some, you're supposed to tackle them maturely. You will be like, Dad, you feel that is right for you. But I also feel I want to try this. And one thing I want to understand, that one thing that I've always been against is parents taking a tribal line. They will tell you, please don't bring someone who's not on our tribe at home. That is not right. That is not right. Because at the end of the day, you're not going to get married to a tribe. At the end of the day, you're building a family. You're not building a tribe. For what for? So you see, these things are going to influence your choice. They're going to influence your interest if you allow them to. So it is so important.
Yes.
Those advices are important.
Yes.
But they are also important when you know who you are. You know your self-understanding. Yeah. And so, allow me to touch on something that is, before I forget. There is this important thing that I normally feel it is wise to let people know, that whenever issues will come in a relationship, and it is good to be angry, and of course it is easy to be angry. Anyone can be angry, but being angry with the right person, being angry at the right time,
yes,
being angry for the right reason, and being angry for the right purpose, it is not easy. You know why? Because interests differ. Sometimes you know who understands you when you are angry at the right time.
Yeah.
So I'm bringing the perspective of clicking with our compatibility. Your parents don't know whom you're compatible to. You know whom you're compatible to. So even these parents, they have spoiled so many good relationships because they want it in their way. Yeah.
So, lastly, should exes hate each other after they break up?
Okay, good. You see, sometimes people say that being friends with your ex is like, it's dangerous. It depends with your maturity. If you are mature enough to handle your ex as a friend, which I don't say it's bad, because if sometimes your ex could be beneficial in other areas, maybe there are some responsible, reasonable areas you can share with your ex. So maybe let's talk about in the perspective of spiritual line or a church. If your ex was someone you were ministering with the praise and worship, if that happens, then you can't be enemies. You're going to share a podium. You're going to share practices. Then you cannot be enemies. So there are reasonable areas that you can still be friends with your ex and you can still talk to them. But if you cannot control yourself, then there is no need for that. So you can make limit towards that.
Okay, there's that person who is going through all what you've talked about currently. How can you advise such a person?
Thank you. Allow me say a quote by Dr. Monroe. Dr. Miles Monroe says that every idea, I quote, every idea, every choice, every goal is a devil's workforce. And he said that to expound on maximizing your potential, that is his book. And you know what Monroe was saying? That even as you maximize your potential, even as you maximize your influence, you should know that you will be fighting. That goal, that idea is a devil's workshop. I mean, the devil will fight you. Relationships are not easy. Neither do marriages are. I mean, it is not ever easy because so many people don't want to build. They want it easy way. So you must have that mentality of knowing that every day you're going to find challenges. Every day you're going to fight various externalities. So there are forces that you're going to fight. So you must know that every process should lead you to someone. Should make a step. You should make a step of growing. So growth is an everyday choice. Don't expect something that is already made. Find someone who is, be at that particular point where you are making a relationship. A relationship is something that you build. So don't every day, not any time, you will wish that something happens so fast in a day or in a week. Be there to grow. And that mentality of growth will take you far than just having that formidable idea of you just want someone who's already made.
So thank you for, I'm that grateful to have you in our studio. And that mark the end of this topic, moving after breakup.
Yes.
So until we meet for the next show, remember to drop your comments, ask questions. We are here to help every person.
Yes.
Until we meet next time, goodbye.
Bye-bye. Thank you.